12 girls, 12 names, all from the East, all maids, all traveled abroad. And at the very bottom, written in ink that was still wet, was my name. My name is Chiamaka Obi. And if you are watching this video right now, it means I made it out. But 3 weeks ago, I was crouched inside an uncompleted building in Ajah, listening to a white van with no plate number parked outside, knowing that the man inside had come for me. Let me show you something. These small vials, these names, this list, this is what nearly got me killed. And it all started because I was a village girl who thought Lagos was going to save her life. I am from Oguta, Imo State. My mother sold akara by the roadside for 15 years to send me through secondary school. When I finished, there was no money for university, no connection, no godfather, just me, one bag and a bus ticket to Lagos. My auntie connected me to a job agency in Surulere. The madam there looked me up and down like I was a tuber of yam she was pricing at the market. She said, "We have one position, Lekki phase 1, but the house has special rules." I should have asked more questions. The salary she mentioned made my ears ring, triple the normal rate for a housemaid job. I told myself, Chiamaka, God has finally answered. I packed my bag the same night. Chief Olanrewaju's mansion did not look like a home. It looked like a statement. 6 bedrooms, Italian marble floors, a gate so tall you could not see the sky when it closed behind you. 4 other maids were already there when I arrived. They were all from the East like me. They were all quiet in a way that felt practiced, like they had learned silence the hard way. The head maid, a thin woman named Ngozi, handed me a paper on my first morning. No welcome, no smile. Read this, sign this, follow this. The rules were short, only 3. Rule 1, never enter the underground kitchen after midnight. Rule 2, never make eye contact with the man in the white van. Rule 3, whatever you hear on Tuesday nights, you heard nothing. I laughed inside. Underground kitchen, white van, these people watch too many Nollywood films. But then I noticed something. Every single maid in that house had the same look in their eyes. Not fear exactly, something worse than fear. Acceptance. That night, I lay on my mat listening to the house breathe around me. The walls hummed, the air conditioning was always on full blast, even in the cool harmattan. And yet, something about that house always felt warm, feverish, like the building itself had a temperature. I told myself I was imagining things. I was not imagining things. The first Tuesday, I slept through it. The second Tuesday, I woke up at exactly 2:47 a.m. to the sound of the gate opening. I heard it, soft tires on the compound gravel, no engine revving, like whoever was driving already knew to come in quietly. I crept to my window, just enough moonlight to see. A white bus, no plate number, not even a dealer's plate, nothing. A man stepped out, tall, broad. He had a scar running from his left ear down to his collarbone, thick and raised like a rope under his skin. He was carrying a small red cooler, the kind you use for a child's birthday party, like it weighed nothing. Chief came out to meet him at the door. Now, listen to me. I need you to understand something about Chief Olanrewaju. This man was 73 years old. He walked with a carved mahogany stick. His hands trembled when he lifted his evening tea. Some mornings, I would watch him descend the staircase and genuinely fear he would not make it to the bottom. But the chief who walked out to meet that van at 3 a.m., he stood straight. He moved fast. He looked 40 years old. They went into the underground kitchen together. 1 hour passed. When Chief came back up those stairs, his eyes were glowing. I am not speaking figuratively. I am not adding drama for YouTube. That man's eyes had a faint blue light behind them, like a phone screen seen through a thin cloth. I pressed myself against the wall of the corridor, and he walked past me, close enough that I felt the air move, and I smelled something sharp and sweet and wrong, like bleach mixed with something living. He didn't see me. Or maybe he did, and he didn't think I mattered yet. By the 3rd Tuesday, I had noticed something else. The maids who had been there longest, they were disappearing. One every few months. Ngozi told me They had traveled abroad, gotten opportunities, left quietly, no farewell, no forwarding address, no WhatsApp activity, nothing. Girls from the village, like me, gone. It was the 4th Tuesday. NEPA had been wicked all week. The compound generator had been struggling. I had heard the gateman complain about the fuel level 3 times that day. At 2:51 a.m., the generator coughed twice and died. The whole house went black. I heard Chief curse under his breath somewhere below me. I heard the scarred man's heavy footsteps pace the underground kitchen, and I thought, this is the distraction. This is the only chance you will ever get, Chiamaka. My legs moved before my brain agreed. I went down those stairs in total darkness, one hand on the cold wall, my heart so loud in my own ears I could not hear anything else. The underground kitchen door was heavy, reinforced steel, disguised behind a wooden panel. But in the rush of the power failure, they had left it open. I stepped inside. The room was cold, colder than anywhere else in the house, the kind of cold that has a purpose. Along the far wall were metal shelving units, and on those shelves were rows and rows of small glass vials, each one sealed with black wax, each one filled with something that glowed faintly, steadily blue. On the central table was an open ledger, handwritten, column after column of names, dates, and amounts in US dollars. I leaned in close to read in the dim glow from the vials. The names: Adaze Nwosu, traveled abroad, March 2021. Blessing Eze, traveled abroad, September 2021. Ifunaya Okafor, traveled abroad, February 2022. 12 names, all women, all from the East, all maids, and at the very bottom of the page, written in ink that still looked wet, Chiamaka Obi, scheduled next Tuesday. The room tilted. My hands were shaking so badly I knocked one of the vials. It rolled, but it didn't fall. I grabbed one, I tore 3 pages from the ledger. I stuffed everything into my bra, my hands trembling, my throat closed with a scream I could not afford to release. And then I heard it. Clack, clack, clack. The walking stick on the marble floor, above, coming towards the stairs. I had 3 seconds, maybe 4. I moved to the side of the door and pressed myself flat against a wall behind a shelving unit. Chief walked in. The scarred man was behind him, holding a torch now. Chief walked to the table, looked at it, touched the ledger, and went still. He knew. He turned slowly. His glowing blue eyes moved around the room. He whispered, and this is the part that will never leave me, the part that comes back in my sleep. Chiamaka, he whispered, I told you, we only pay for your hands, not your eyes. He hadn't even seen me yet. He just knew. I ran. I do not remember crossing the compound. I do not remember climbing the fence. I have a scar on my left palm that I cannot explain, and both my knees were bleeding when I finally stopped running somewhere in the back street of Ajah. I hid inside an uncompleted building, 2nd floor, no windows, smelling of wet cement and rat droppings. I sat in the dark, and I looked at what I had taken. The vial, still glowing faintly in my palm. The ledger pages, 12 names, 12 women, and mine. I did not sleep. I made this video at first light just as I heard the sound of tires on gravel outside. The white van, no plate number. My people, they found me. I will not tell you how I got out of that building, but I will tell you who helped me. A woman, a petty trader who had set up her table on the street. She heard me scream when the van door opened below. She started shouting, "Ole, ole, thief," at the top of her voice, and within 60 seconds, the street was alive with people. The van left. The scarred man is still out there. Chief Olanrewaju is still in that mansion in Lekki, walking with his stick, his eyes returning slowly to the dim grey of a very old man between Tuesdays. The vial is with a journalist. The ledger pages are with 3 different people in 3 different cities. If anything happens to me, all of it goes public at the same time. As for the police, I went. I reported. The officer looked at the ledger pages, looked at me and said, "Madam, do you know who Chief Olanrewaju is?" I know exactly who he is. That is why I am telling you. Because the only protection a village girl with no godfather has in this Lagos is noise. So make noise for me. Share this video. Tell somebody. Put it everywhere. because 12 girls traveled abroad from that house and not one of them ever landed. My name is Chiamaka Obi. I am alive and I am not finished.